Alright, my friends, Apex Trades back again. Feeling much better. Been sick for the last, I don't know, let's see, maybe the last 2 weeks. Today, for the first day, I actually feel right on my game. So let's get straight into it. So, if you remember from my last video, I said I was looking for an entry around the 19,750. In all honesty, as I was kind of watching the flow. We also had a tweet that came out which was very bearish, which was the Fed's Evans that had basically said, so the Fed's on track to reach a 4.5% rate by March, with little difference between individual policymakers. So in terms of all the individuals, everyone's in unison pretty much on that kind of that kind of policy. So it looks like that was a downward turn. We've done something like 8 straight days in the red for Bitcoin, and we're approaching, this. Well, we just snagged this last line of resistance here, and I can't see it going any lower. So what does that mean? Sorry, I can't see it kind of reverting anytime soon. So what happened yesterday? If I go to leave it on the hour. I seen this big. I was looking potentially around this area to get in around 19,300. I couldn't see it getting any higher than that, and then as it turned away, within seconds I looked back and this crazy red candle came in. I was like, okay, shit, I think I might have missed my entry level. I then left it for a bit and I thought, let's just see. Then started bobbling around here. We had this other red candle here that snagged around the 100, and I thought, okay, now we're starting to really move down. So I put an entry in at 19,100, and then I fell asleep. Now, when I put that in, I think our liquidation point is around 19,900 and something. So in terms of where we're potentially going to get liquidated is around here. Even if we look at doing, let's look at where a reversion to the mean would look. This is just about monitoring the feasibility of us getting tanked. We can maybe look around here. We're at 19.8, so even if we hit the golden pocket area, which potentially we could come back to, however, to do that, I'm just looking at this area there, 19,880. Even if we've done that to this level, and as we drop further below, well, it drops our golden pocket area as well. It has to get past this structure here, which has been going on, which is the main structure. If I just zoom out a quick second, let me just delete this just to show you how important this structural line is. If we go to the weekly, zoom down a little bit. I'll just go like that. Go back into the, let's see the hour time frame on it. I could zoom out really, just maybe get that line a little bit better, but I'm probably happy that that's more of a breakout and a fail move. But even if we come up, so our liquidation point is around the 19,950 mark. That would have to get across this structure here with a lot of volume. I just don't see it happening. If I'm honest, what I do see happening This is breaking new all-time lows, not all-time, sorry, new lows, which is around the 17.5, 17.6 mark. Let me just see it. We can go a bit further out. I have to go a bit further back actually to be able to know where that was. Just actually go on the 4-hour, make it a bit easier. Yeah, 17,600. So what I see coming over the next week, maybe a bit longer, is just testing this new low level, maybe breaking beyond that. You know, getting downward action on this support line here before we then eventually come for a rally back to the upside. So I can see that playing out. Go back into the hour. We'll check out Bookmap shortly just to have a look what's going on there. So honestly, I wish I would have got in earlier. I wish I would have been in the 19,300. But in all honesty, I'm not massively concerned. I'm really not. We're a couple of hundred out from what we wanted. Right now we're in the green because this is our entry level, and we're going to let it play out. Where am I going to take profit? I'm looking for it to snag this line here around the 18,400 mark, maybe 18,500 mark. So this is our third trade that's been executed. We're looking okay on the MFI. I mean, we started our downward spiral here. I'm probably suggesting we may come back up to the heart line before further downward momentum. We've got a lot of news coming out this week, which, given the state of play, state of the market, state of everything we're in at the moment, is not great. War continues to ravage. We have nuclear threats left, right, and centre. I just can't see any reason to be bullish at this stage. So, as you know, this is our $500 to $5,000 challenge. We're in good shape. This is our third trade. We had a loss on the first. We made really good gains on the second, and now this, hopefully, we should see some good positive action in terms of our P&L. Now, based on that, what does the Bookmap tell us? So let's shoot over to Bookmap and let's have a little look at what we're doing in Bookmap. Okay, so on Bookmap, let's look at where the big areas of liquidity currently reside. Just scoot that a bit lower. We have absolutely nothing down here, and that's good, because I think once it gets beyond the 18.5, we should start to see a really easy jump further down, which would make sense. There's virtually zero liquidity down here. You know, that's not to say that liquidity won't come in once the price really starts to break. But as I look at this now, I mean, you know, we've got 561 Bitcoin to the sell side. We've got maybe like 457. So we're right now, as we look, we're kind of weighted towards more selling pressure than buying pressure. That obviously can change all the time. This is a very liquid market, and this is always live. This is what you're looking at right now. We're looking at the Binance Smart Chain market book. But it doesn't look great for the bulls. It really doesn't. The liquidity, we've got 19,035 around that 19k 35 mark here. You know, we're like, what, 456. Where is my VWAP? Let me just double check that configuration. Sorry, let me just double check. the VWAP up. No, come on, whereabouts is this? Studies, this one. Yeah. VWAP say volume weighted average price. If you look, we're below the VWAP at the moment, and it's being used as a really solid way to take a scalp. It's just bouncing off the VWAP and coming back down. What is the VWAP? Of course, it's the volume weighted average price, which is to say where the average price of Bitcoin is based on volume and the price. So, you know, if lots of small bids come in or buys around a specific price, let's say that, you know, the 19k mark, but then you get one big sell on big market order around the 19,500. Well, that's gonna differently equate the amount of volume that's being traded between those two prices, which will give you that kind of average weighted price rather than just using price alone. So, you know, the best way to think about it is the area of most value. If you're above the VWAP, well, that's a good short opportunity because the average price is less than what that price is. And if it's above the VWAP, below the VWAP like it is now, this is potentially a good buying opportunity. So the further away from VWAP you get, the better your value of prices, as it will probably try and come back to where the VWAP is. It's very psychological. I think a lot of traders use it psychologically in terms of trying to get value for the bids. So, and oftentimes it's used as a way to, you know, when you approach it, and we've seen here. Let me see how many times we bounced off the VWAP. Slightly got above it here. Those big delta bubbles that you're seeing, they are pure market orders. That's where someone's happy to pay the spread. They don't care about a limit order or getting filled at a specific price. They just see what the price is now and, you know, insert an order. What you're seeing here on the red side is limit orders. These are all sell orders that have yet to be fulfilled, and which is why you're seeing these coming in and going out. And you can see, you know, where we've got this heat map here, historical heat map. This is where there was liquidity at this price. Obviously, the actual price of Bitcoin was below this, so it never got filled. But it's where a lot of limit orders was. And then as we're kind of moving further and further down, that liquidity is being dropped to the next level down. So, you know, all of this tells me there's certainly bearish momentum in terms of how we're trading, specifically on the book map. You know, what we do notice down here, the 18,900 mark, is we've got 716 Bitcoin to be traded. I'm almost certain we're going to go and pick up this liquidity in this zone and then head down to that. What does that mean? Well, potentially what you sometimes see is as we approach liquidity, because price is always looking for where liquidity is, the highest levels of liquidity, we may, you know, sellers may look at that, or buyers rather, and think, okay, we may not have enough selling pressure to break through that liquidity zone, therefore we'll revert the price. That can happen. That can happen for sure. But sometimes if the sell pressure, like negative news, further discontent in the economy, you know, it can just blast straight through that with no problem. We then have another big line, big liquidity amount around the 18,800 mark, 750 Bitcoin. Let's go further down. We have more liquidity around the 18,600 mark, starting to drop off at this stage though, as you can see. As we go further down again, and then we really see some big liquidity down around the 18,500 mark. So once we pass that, if we pass that, you'll see there's very little liquidity further down the charts. You know, 100 here, a couple of 100 there, maybe. It's not an awful lot of liquidity. Let We have 406 around the 1800 mark again, but I think potentially what would happen is this would start to build as the price starts to drop further. And then what did we say? 19.6 was the low. Yeah, and that's represented here. We don't have a lot of liquidity at this stage. However, that can change, and you'd expect that to change as we drop below. Bookmap is an amazing tool. If you're not using it, you should really consider using it. It's a fantastic way of not just looking at charts, but actually looking where the liquidity lies, because the charts will never tell you where liquidity lies. It will tell you where past previous zones of liquidity have been through things like the VPVR, but it won't give you live liquidity like this. And this is why I think, as a trader, if you're trading, you need to look at not just past data through things like technical analysis, but you also need to think about what's going on with where the liquidity is, because these are live. These can be pulled, changed, anything. I mean, as this starts to drop, what you'll probably start to see is the liquidity being built higher and higher to almost act as that support structure that you'll see. So that's Bookmap. I'd like to maybe do more of an in-depth overview of Bookmap and how people can trade just using Bookmap. I always like to use the combination of the two, and if that's something that you'd like to see, just let me know. More than happy to kind of go over that. And I think, yeah, that's probably it for this one. In terms of where we are, I'm at this moment in time just focusing on where we are. We're currently in the green. We are $17 in the green, but that's nothing for where we want to get to. I'm probably going to use stop loss management rather than a take profit, because I just think this has got so much further to go. I just think the news is going to be all negative. I don't think there's anything that's going to really give any ray of sunlight. So I will update you guys as promised. Apologies, I couldn't get a video out last night just to let you know where I updated, but it's a very fluid game, and sometimes it's not always possible to get in and get out quickly. So and update. So this is the first chance I've had to update everyone. So with that being said, I shall say bye for now, and I will catch you guys on the next one if there's any immediate changes. Just before I do go, if I've been debating maybe doing some live New York openings just to kind of talk about what we see in Bookmap, how things are starting to progress. Again, if that's something you guys want, just drop a comment. Feel free to like these videos if you think there's anything beneficial in them, or don't, whatever. And that's it. Have a lovely day, and I'll speak to you soon.